What if someone already likes you, but you're the only person who hasn't noticed it? Have you ever looked back at an old conversation and suddenly realized they were giving you signs all along? The truth is, attraction is often much quieter than movies make it seem. Psychology suggests that people frequently reveal their feelings through small, unconscious behaviors before they ever admit them with words. And today, you'll discover 4 of those hidden signs that most people completely overlook. Welcome to Inspire Mind, where psychology helps you understand people and yourself on a much deeper level. Let's begin. The 1. They remember the smallest details about you. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever casually mentioned your favorite snack, a song you liked, or something that happened months ago? Then one day that person brings it up again. You never expected them to remember, but they did. Psychologists often explain that our brains naturally prioritize information connected to people we emotionally value. When someone likes you, your words don't simply pass through their mind, they stay there. This isn't about having a perfect memory. It's about emotional attention. Imagine telling someone months ago that you hate rainy mornings. Later, when the weather changes, they text, "Looks like your least favorite kind of day." To everyone else, it's just a comment. To psychology, it's something much deeper, because remembering tiny details requires mental investment. People rarely spend that energy on someone who means nothing to them. Even during group conversations, they'll often remember your opinions better than anyone else's. Sometimes they'll even remind you about something you forgot saying. That's not coincidence. It's selective attention driven by emotional interest. But here's something even more interesting. Remembering your words is only the beginning. The next sign happens even when neither of you is speaking. 2. Their body language changes around you. Words can be controlled. Body language is much harder to fake. Researchers have found that attraction often appears through unconscious physical behaviors, long before someone openly expresses their feelings. Notice what happens when you enter a room. Do they suddenly sit up straighter? Do they smile without realizing it? Do their feet naturally point toward you during conversations? These tiny signals happen because the brain automatically directs attention towards someone it finds emotionally important. Sometimes they'll mirror your posture. If you lean forward, they lean forward. If you smile, a few seconds later they're smiling too. This behavior is called mirroring, and psychologists believe it helps people create subconscious emotional connection. Another subtle clue: their eyes. Not dramatic staring, not awkward eye contact, just slightly longer eye contact than normal. Then they quickly look away, then look back again. It's a pattern that many people don't even realize they're doing. Their body often tells the truth before their words ever do. But there's another behavior that's even harder to ignore, because this one affects how they spend something far more valuable than attention: their time. The 3. They find reasons to stay connected. People make time for what matters. That's one of the simplest truths in psychology. Someone who likes you doesn't always need a big excuse to talk. Sometimes they'll send you a meme. Sometimes they'll ask a small question they could easily answer themselves. Sometimes they'll react to your story hours later with something simple like, "That looks fun." It may seem ordinary, but often the real goal isn't the conversation. It's maintaining the connection. Think about someone who suddenly remembers to send you an article related to something you once discussed, or they randomly check in after several days. Not because something happened, just because you crossed their mind. These aren't grand romantic gestures. They're small emotional investments. Psychologists describe this as relationship maintenance behavior. When someone values a connection, they naturally create opportunities to keep it alive. Even brief conversations become meaningful because they don't want the connection to fade. And here's something fascinating. Sometimes the strongest sign isn't that they're always talking. It's how they react when someone else gets your attention. Which brings us to the 4th sign. For 4, they notice changes in your attention. Imagine this. You're talking to everyone in the room, but for a few minutes, you stop paying attention to them. Suddenly they become quieter, or they find a reason to join your conversation again. Maybe they ask an unexpected question. Maybe they make a joke. Maybe they simply walk closer. This isn't always jealousy. It's something psychologists call attention sensitivity. When someone emotionally values you, your attention becomes psychologically rewarding. When they lose that attention, they naturally try to regain it. You might also notice they become unusually happy when you notice them first. A simple greeting from you changes their entire mood, or they remember exactly when you replied to their message. Not because they're keeping score, but because your attention genuinely matters to them. This doesn't mean every person who acts this way is secretly in love. Context always matters. Some people are naturally friendly, others are simply caring personalities. That's why you should never judge based on just one sign. Look for patterns. When several of these behaviors appear consistently over time, psychology suggests there's often a deeper emotional reason behind them. Here's the biggest mistake people make. They wait for one dramatic sign, one perfect confession, one obvious moment. But real attraction usually grows quietly. It's built through repeated small behaviors, tiny moments, consistent attention, emotional investment. Individually, each sign may seem meaningless. Together, they tell a story. And that's exactly how psychologists recommend interpreting human behavior. Never focus on isolated actions. Focus on repeated patterns over time. Because consistency reveals intention far more accurately than words alone. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 signs have you experienced recently? Or have you ever realized someone liked you only after it was too late? Share your story in the comments below. If you enjoyed learning the hidden psychology behind human behavior, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Inspire Mind, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next psychology-based video. Because sometimes understanding people changes everything. The human mind rarely reveals its deepest emotions through words alone. Instead, it whispers through attention, body language, memory, and consistent effort. The people who understand these quiet signals often understand relationships in a completely different way. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.